Hello everyone and welcome to Gamersledge Podcast. Come on in, sit down, relax. I am your host Mark, and joining us this week we have an all-star studded cast after being off for 2 weeks. So joining me all the way over here on my far right, starting at the end of the list, it's Kate.
Hello.
And next to Kate is the man, the myth, the legend, and oh my god, I can see in your comic shop behind you, it's Matt.
Howdy.
And last but not least, the purveyor of soul, the brother from another mother, the man, the myth, the legend, the sexy Dave.
Hey, how's it going?
That sounds like I sounded like a couple weeks ago, only way less nerdy.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be that kind of podcast. And he's not even drinking.
It's less Barry White.
That's actually not true. I actually started drinking before I created I'm sure probably somebody has done this before. But I got some rum, and I got some, what do we have here? Black Currant Cola from Pepsi 1893, and some Chambord.
I'm sorry, was that Pepsi aged since 1893? Because if not, false advertising.
It's, I believe, just using the original formula from 1893.
That is a lie and a travesty.
Maybe, but it's a great mixer.
Okay.
You should just mix rum, vodka, tequila, gin, rye all together and kill it all.
I don't want to die.
Don't forget, everybody, to pull your cameras down just a little bit so that you're not... You actually have necks. It's great. Necks are important.
Yeah,
Yay!
I was actually trying to avoid seeing my neck because I'm in a weird angle.
No, that's all the more reason.
Yeah.
So, we have a ton of stuff tonight. Tonight is our SDCC for you and me trailer breakdown, where we're going to actually watch and go through every single trailer that's worth anything that doesn't have major spoilers. So no Supergirl, no Flash, no
Game of Thrones.
No Game of Thrones. So there's a couple that we'll be missing, but we have it's quite a big list. The list is not small. And we'll be going through all those. But before we do, let's go around the room, as is customary, to talk about what we've been doing in the last 2 weeks. Let's start with Kate.
Well, I've been watching Game of Thrones. That's the only show I've been watching, but I watched both episodes already. Mm-hmm. So I guess I won't talk about it because I don't know what people have watched or not watched, so enjoying it so far. What have I been doing? Well, I played a little bit of Dead or Alive Extreme 3. I actually started playing Final Fantasy 14. Because it's got the free trial on PlayStation up until level 35, so I went into that, and I've been having, like, an okay time so far. Like, it's been a long time since I played an MMO, so getting used to how much stuff is on the screen is going to take a little while, but I'm not that far, and like, if I continue on, I'm going to be super casual about it, so I'm only level, like, 5 or 6 right now. But it's fun so far. I actually find it a lot more fun than Final Fantasy 11, which was my last MMO.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, for me, it's the exact same game. I mean, it's got, like, quality of life stuff, but it still is really, at its core, Final Fantasy 11.
Easier to level up, though.
Well, anything is easier to level up than Final Fantasy 11. Like, going out and putting your teeth on a railing and then just sliding your head down the railing, doesn't matter if it's made of wood or metal, that's easier than leveling in Final Fantasy 11. So, I mean, I'm not sure that's...
I like in this game that just by using the weapon of the class, you can level that class. You don't have to, like it automatically puts you in, like, you know, because I'm a marauder right now, which means I'll turn into a warrior. But if I wanted to do something else, I can very easily switch. Which, I mean, you could switch easily to in 11, but...
No, not that easily, no. You'd have to go back and to a home base and switch out your classes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Weren't you playing 12?
Oh, I've been playing a whole metric buttload of 12.
Okay.
I've been playing it, like, a lot in the past 2 weeks. I just hadn't gotten there yet.
Got it.
Mr. Rushy. No, it's just making me... It's been a long time since I played the game, and it's making me realize how much I love that game. It's like, everything in that game is amazing. And then there's Vaughn. But everything else is amazing. And, I got some new headphones for my PS4, so, like, I've been listening to the soundtrack just in my head, and it's so good. And right now I'm in the Paramina Rift, and I think I'm going to level there for a while just so I can listen to the music for a while. That area is so good. The Paramina Rift.
Yeah.
The snow area.
I'm actually super jealous because my wife made me promise she wants to watch me play it. And she's like, well, you can start and then we can start over again. And I'm like, no, you don't understand how this works. I'm not gonna
And the thing is, too,
do that again.
Game, if she wants to watch with you, it's kind of the thing where you can't just... It's almost a game you can't do in spurts with long periods between, because the story is so, like, political intrigue sort of thing. So you need to pay attention to names and, you know, a lot more than maybe with any other Final Fantasy.
Well, I'm thinking about maybe starting one of those string walls. You know what I'm talking about? Like a cork
Pepe
board.
Sylvia string wall?
Yeah, exactly. That way she can follow along and, like, this is this is Baltier, and he's part of these pirates.
It's not hard to follow the story. You just have to be actually paying attention. But, yeah, no, all the characters in that game are so good. I mean, besides Vaughn and Penelo to a lesser extent. But, like, Ash and Bosch and Balthier and Fran, they're all so good. Lars is amazing. I love that game so much. It's making me realize that it's almost, but not quite, a contender for my favorite Final Fantasy. 8 still takes it, but Tactics and 12 are really up there, and it's making me want to do a whole Ivalice playthrough. So I actually got some ROMs so I can do, because I never played Revenant Wings, and I played a little bit of the first Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, but I never touched the second one, so I'll go through those, and then I'll get to replay Vagrant Story, which I've been wanting to do for a while.
Nice.
I don't think there's anything else I've been playing. It's just because I've been playing a lot of 12, so yeah, that's about it.
All right. In that case, we'll move on down the line, and next up is Matt.
So let's see, on the game front, I don't think I had finished Witcher 3 when we last met. So I've finished, I mean, I've completed all of the missions. There are no more active missions. They're all gone. So yeah. It's a big game. Just shy of 200 hours all in. Not a ton of that was Gwent.
That's not impressive.
I mean, I won all the tournaments and stuff, so I mean, I played enough to do that, but yeah, that was a heck of a game, and the Blood and Wine it's a whole game in and of itself. I mean, any other game that would have been a game, not a DLC add-on. That thing was huge. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I only got to it 2 years late, but hey. Let's see, picked back up in the middle of my game of Song of the Deep, which, man, why did I stop playing that game? That is a really, really, really fun game. Well, if you like Metroidvanias.
GameStop's first game that they published, and it's actually really good.
It is. Well, it's Insomniac developed.
Insomniac developed, but they published it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a very solid Metroidvania game where you're playing underwater in a submarine. It's really about it. And some awesome music. Although, don't play that late at night because, man, that music will put you right to sleep. It's like lullabies almost. The Destiny 2 beta, played through the story mission and 1 or 2 matches of the 4-on-4 multiplayer, which I was not a fan of. So that doesn't support my running around capturing flags and not having to deal with actually trying to kill people as much as the larger matches do. So that wasn't as fun, but yeah, it seemed like Destiny. Surprisingly, very Destiny-y. Then Rock Band 4. In the interim, we did get the crew up to Diamond. There's 2 weeks left in Season 1. Will we get to Bloodstone? I don't know, because you got to get 90%. You got to be in the top 10% of your group to get to Bloodstone. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Can we talk about that? I mean, I know we've got a packed show, but I want to talk about this for a minute. This seems like a really dumb way to do their stuff. This seems like it discourages rather than encourages.
It's better than the old way, because I barely played last week and I didn't lose my spot. Whereas last week, the old way, if I had not played last week, so it all depends. It's what you want to put into it, right? I mean, if you want to get to Bloodstone, you've got 8 weeks to do it. There's 6 ranks. That basically means you've got 2 mulligan weeks. You can do it. If you only want to play once or twice, if you only want to get up to gold or platinum, which is pretty easy to do if you're got a group that'll play, you can just do that. It's whatever you want to make it be, or you just not do it at all.
I'm pretty sure he was about to say something flippant about me.
Kind of be. Oh, did I freeze?
Yeah.
Wow. Hello, am I back?
Yep, you're back. You can't hear us, but you're back.
I'm back. I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, no, it's really just what you want to make of it. I wanted to see how far we could get this first week or this first season, and with the new format, I don't know if I'll keep up with it. It's kind of a lot of a time commitment, but it's not as much of a time commitment as it was before, because I don't know if less people are playing, or it's just the way the format is that makes it easier. And the fact that you're not always perpetually on the verge of either losing or gaining, you're at worst going to.
You're at worst.
So it's a little. At worst, you're going to stay where you were. You're not going to go any further down. If you're at the bottom, there's no lower to go. So I don't know. I think they're still trying to find the right model, to do it, but because they don't want it to go on for people a chance to get up there and get to Bloodstone. Is it sustainable long term? Probably not for me. I'm surprised I've kept up with it this long, to be honest.
I'm super surprised you've kept up with it this long.
I still enjoy the game. I still enjoy the.
Yeah, your laptop is crapping out like big time. Oh, and he's gone. So, hey, you're back. But nope, you're froze again. Yeah, let's just go to Dave. Dave.
Okay.
Oh, are you back, Matt?
I think I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. All right.
Okay. Played a new tabletop game called Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards Rumble.
Seriously?
Did I die again? Okay, well. See, everything keeps moving for me, so
yeah. Go ahead. You're moving again, but you weren't there for a minute.
Okay, so tabletop game. The Battle Wizards Rumble. Okay, fine. Never mind.
Tabletop Wizards. Is that what you said?
Well, there's wizards in the name, but it's a tabletop game. Maybe if I say it slower, it won't skip out on me. Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards Rumble at Castle Tentakill. To get the whole thing out this time.
Yeah, is that a video game or a board game?
No, it's a tabletop.
Okay.
It's kind of a
like
deck,
a pen and paper role playing, or a board game of some kind.
Yeah, it's a deck builder game. So
okay.
you start with a hand, and then you spells from your hand, and you try to kill the other wizards who are against you. Since I just want to make it clear, it is, I think it's rated 16 plus. There is a lot of double entendre, dirty double meaning stuff in a lot of the cards. One of the characters was Fu King Chu, so Fu King, yeah. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff in there. So that's that. And then on the TV front, I know there's more, but I can't remember what it all was. So I got Dice Preacher working on Game of Thrones.
He's super bad.
Okay, I'm just gonna go. This is just not gonna work.
Do you want to try reconnecting with your phone?
Not really, because my phone's nowhere near enough battery, and I'm not close enough to an outlet to be able to do anything. Let me just try rebooting, and I'll be back.
Okay, we'll see you then. Dave.
Hey.
And put you in the hot spot with your pen, and take old Matt's head out there. There we go.
We can. Just let me know when we're good to go.
Oh, you're good to go.
Okay. Light week on gaming. I'm actually. It's been a little busy in life, so I took a few days off Zelda. So I haven't even touched the Switch.
He's done with it forever. I'm just calling it now.
No. We're not done with it. We're at a slow pace though right now. I mean, because there's really not much major stuff left for me to do. I was kind of just like going through and finding poop, and all the armor's updated, upgraded to max levels. So I did all that. I'm like 3 shrines short at the moment. So, real close to that, which is probably, something I will do. I'd like to try and tackle the Master Sword trials. But I know that takes a little bit of time. So that's kind of where we're at there. Most of my gaming this week was actually going through Bye Bye Box Boy, the last in the series of HAL Laboratories' wonderful little action platform puzzle game that nobody else has played but me. HAL Laboratories, it's a real company, and they make Kirby, But I've been playing that on the 3DS, and it's actually a great little game that I think everybody should be checking out. However, most of my time has been spent. There's this weird little indie show, this little fantasy show, called Game of Thrones. That apparently a couple people watch. It's a really obscure, crappy show.
I keep telling people to watch it, but it's like Hannibal. No one even is like, it's like, what's that?
Yeah, it's just not taking off. So I'm just I started back from the beginning because I only saw one episode in the middle of it apparently. Then it's actually a pretty good show. I see why people kind of dig it.
How far are you now?
I think I just finished the 3rd season. Oh,
you just finished the 3rd season? Oh,
yeah.
That's a hell of a place to stop.
Yeah, that a lot happened on that last episode there.
Yeah.
Is that last episode the Red Wedding?
Yes, it is.
Oh no, then I'm after that.
Well, no, it's one after. That's actually the next to last episode of season 3.
All right, then I'm at the end of the 4th season then.
Oh, nice.
What happened at the end of the 4th season?
Stuff, lots of stuff. The reason I want to skirt around this is because I actually just got one of my friends. He's like, should I watch this Game of Thrones thing that I've always steered clear of it? I'm like, are you high? Watch it. and he's mainlined. I'm not joking. He's mainlined like season 1 and 2 in 2 days. And
I don't want to be callous to your friend, but it's like that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I know
It's more than 4 years.
The show. Yeah, it's actually like 6 years ago. But
Yeah.
he watches the show, so I want to make sure we don't.
Yeah, no. I feel him because like I said, I just started from season 1, a couple weeks ago myself. I've been probably on a pace of about 3-4 episodes a night. So I'm moving along at a pretty good clip. I think the show should just be called Peter Dinklage is Awesome. Because
There's lots of, to be fair, as awesome as he is, there are a lot of awesome characters on that show.
Yeah, I basically love any interaction between those council guys.
Varys and Littlefinger. Varys is my favorite character on the show.
Like, I swear to God,
He's
if
so
anything
cool.
happens to him, I'm done.
Now,
Like,
Kate,
that guy is just awesome.
Did you see the thing I posted on my page about the meme, like the news report?
Oh, man found dead in Winterfell?
Yes, that was like I was like, that is the best meme that has come out of any episode so far this season. So I'm good with that. Yeah, because Littlefinger is always Mr. Smarty Pants.
Yeah, I love any of their interactions, especially like when all three of them were together. I was just like, this is the best TV ever.
That show has such good villains too. Like, you haven't at the point
everybody's a damn villain.
But
there's like 2 people that are actually kind of not.
Ned was not a villain.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah, and he lasted 2 episodes.
But like
8.
Has there ever? There's so few villains that have been as deplorable as Joffrey and Ramsay, and it's like, I love those
holy
characters.
Crap, that Ramsay guy.
Awful. Like, it's just like a lot of people. Well, we're gonna talk about Joffrey because a lot of people are like, "Oh, I hate Joffrey so much." I actually miss him because the actor was so good.
He gets spit on like in public.
I know, which is terrible.
Which is super terrible.
An actor.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, he should be praised in public because like when you get somebody to hate that, you should be like, dude, you're awesome. I hated you. Like, so much. That means you were a damn good actor.
There was a panel at SDCC that had all the Game of Thrones people on it, and it talked about certain things that happened in the show and how people wish things had gone differently. So if you get a chance to watch that, it's online. I highly recommend it. But
I know for a lot of times when they're doing autographs and stuff, people avoid getting Lena Headey's autograph because they all hate Cersei.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which, she's like one of my favorite characters, actually. She's a horrible person, but I still like her character.
Yeah, but she plays it so well.
What's Alfie's role? I can never remember his name.
Theon Greyjoy.
Yeah, thank you. When he signs
There's a roller
stuff,
coaster of a character.
Apparently now people want him to draw extra things that he's lacking. His character is lacking in his signature. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. Spoiler free. Yay! All right. What else did you watch there, Mr. Bach?
Literally, that's it.
Okay.
It's just been like mainlining, Game of Thrones as much as I can. But yeah, like I said, I just finished season 4, I guess at this point. And I considered faking, like I just really couldn't talk tonight just so I can watch 2 more episodes.
They'll be there. They will be there.
Considering the way I sound right now,
you sound fine, actually.
I probably should be watching more episodes.
Without spoilers, I will say season 6 is pretty dope.
Yeah, well, season 7's shaping up. I think
season 6, overall was the best one, though.
I have to say that I know we're only like 3 episodes in to season 7.
2.
Is it 2? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it starts and then it's credits. It's like this season. It seems like it goes by so fast, what should be like an hour show. Seems
I
to be
just like how there's a couple episodes where it's just like half the cast is now gone. Like, that's a show that just...
We have so much we could say, but we cannot say a thing. That's all I will say.
No, I get it. It's just like, you know, I remember watching Oz on HBO, and that was one of those shows where you couldn't really get attached to people.
Yeah, that's
But at least they had the decency to plink them off one at a time on that show. Like, this show is just like, whop. Like, remember that story arc you were following for 2 seasons? Yeah, gone. Yeah.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's gone.
Like, damn, did the whole family ask for extra money? Like, what happened? You know?
All right. Well, I played a few things, which surprisingly, a weird eclectic mix of games. I platinumed. I don't think we talked about this.
Actually, I did want to talk about one more thing. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I saw a movie in the theater.
Oh, what did you see?
That probably a lot of people maybe not be checking out because it might be flying under the radar. The Big Sick.
Oh yeah. I want to see that so bad.
It is fantastic.
Yeah.
The it's Kumail. What's his last name?
Rajiani.
Yeah. He plays Dinesh on Silicon Valley. Used to do a podcast called The Indoor Kids. If you ever listen to that. And it's basically a true story about how he met his wife, which I didn't realize until after I saw the movie that it was a true story. It is a fantastic movie. I think the last time I checked, it was 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is very funny, very witty. The acting is all great. The cast is awesome, and it is just a very worthwhile movie, especially if you like want to see like a really good date movie, you know, kind of deal, because it's, you know, kind of like a romantic, you know, comedy in a way, but it's also like very dramatic. It's a really well done film, and it's very kind of different at the same time. It's well deserved ratings on that movie. Definitely check it out. It's awesome.
Did we discuss Baby Driver?
We did. I did not get a chance to see that one yet.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Super good. Also, a masterclass in directing in the beginning of it. Let's see. What's on my list? Let's see. The first thing on my list is... Well, I'll go through TV since it's shorter. I actually started a Netflix series called Travelers that stars... I don't know his name, but he's Will from Will and Grace. Has anybody heard of this besides me?
No, the only last thing I checked out on Netflix was the Keepers documentary.
Yeah, so...
which is so horribly depressing that I actually went to Game of Thrones afterward as a pick-me-up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Travelers is interesting because it's about a bunch of time travelers who come back into the past to inhabit people's bodies that were scheduled to die. So, like, instead of dying, they save their life, but then take over their life and are actually other people and all the problems that entails. And it's actually pretty interesting so far. And they're supposed to save the world because apparently it's horrible in the future. And that's why they're trying to fix the past. So it's pretty interesting so far. I'm only a few episodes in, but I like it. I also started... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no. I was just saying that seems like a really cool premise. I like that idea.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting from the pilot moving forward. Like I said, I think I'm only 3 or 4 episodes in, but it's pretty interesting what they're doing with it. Mainly because they chose like the worst people for this group to jump into. Like nice. One is a handicapable person that is now suddenly like a doctor who has jumped into her, which causes all kinds of problems. Another one is a drug addict, and then the team leader is an FBI agent. And so it's kind of it's an interesting premise for the whole thing. Hey, there he is. He came back. the crazy cat came back. He couldn't stay away. He was sitting on the front porch just the very next day. Hi, Matt. Welcome back.
That is the jankiest way to get back in this room that was ever possibly invented.
You just click the bell and...
No, it doesn't work a second time. You can't
Yeah.
follow an invite a second time. I had to go to my history and figure out which URL it was that I was at when I was in the room and go that way.
Sorry, yeah, it won't let me invite you
just
twice.
went to friends and clicked on Mark and went go to room.
But it's not his room. He set up a separate room for this because I was in Gamersledge room and it was empty.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Mine should be in Gamersledge room. It says it's
No.
not
horrible.
Well, r/dy8tqe instead of /Gamersledge. So
yeah, but, I don't know. I said take me to my room, and this is where I went. So I started Black Mirror season 3. Is that 3 that's on Netflix?
yeah, three's
Okay.
the new one. Yeah.
So there's a story involved here. I watched the episode and went, that is messed up. And then I immediately went home and I asked my wife, if I had this issue, which the main character had in the story, what would you want me to do? And it created this entire conversation. That is a messed up show. I like it very much. I've not watched seasons 1 or 2, but since I was told that they're all basically self-contained, I figured I'd be good to go. And I was. And now I really want to watch the rest of them, but my wife has made me promise not to watch them without her. So we're going to watch them together. But then the hilarious part is I did see the Robot Chicken SDCC trailer that came out, which we're not showing tonight, but it actually has a scene from that episode of Black Mirror in the actual Robot Chicken show. So I'm like, that's pretty hilarious. So yeah, I watched that. I did watch Baby Driver in the theater before I got really sick. I played the most important beta that came out this last weekend. I played it for a very substantial amount of time, and that was the Happy Dungeon beta. And if you're not familiar with Happy Dungeon, it's a chibi, where everybody's got tiny bodies, big head, chibi free-to-play hack and slash dungeon MMO that does have co-op multiplayer and couch co-op multiplayer. And it has a very interesting system that I've never seen in any other game, to where you'll find loot in the dungeons and the loot will have property slots on it, and instead of paying to craft new things onto your weapons and armor, you actually pay to remove the enchantments off that piece of armor. It then goes into a pool that's over here that you can use on any of your equipment for free. So that was an interesting take on it. And so you can there's a lot of customization. That's launching in September for free. And I'm actually really excited about playing it because it was a lot of fun. So that's called Happy Dungeon. I did play the other beta that kind of snuck in under the radar for everyone, which was Destiny. It made me angry again. That's
nice.
it's like tearing the Band-Aid off of the wound that is finally healed. Like, you wouldn't think that you needed a Band-Aid still, but then when you tore it off, you found out, oh, look, all my insides come pouring out. Yeah. It's frustrating to me because the core gameplay loop, which is the fun shooting, is still there, and it is exactly more of the same. I will admit that Matt was absolutely correct. I did something with Ghost, and I then did not have to protect him for 20 minutes while waves of enemies came at him and came at you, bro. But pretty much the exact same formula. There was nothing new in the any of it. And I also do not like the smaller PvP match sizes, Crucible match sizes, because much like Matt, I play for the objective, not for the kill count. And yeah. So I also played another free-to-play game that launched this week. I think it was this week or last week. It's called Orcs Must Die, which is an interesting take on tower defense, except that it's played as a third-person, over-the-shoulder game where you are placing traps in an environment from that perspective rather than the god perspective. It's fun. It's okay. If you like tower defense, you'll probably like this, but so far nothing like super gripping for me.
Yeah, I didn't make it out of the tutorial.
Yeah, I finished the tutorial, I think, but I did not yet claim my stuff.
And one correction to your previous thing, because I thought you were wrong. All 3 seasons of Black Mirror are on Netflix. So now I'm curious if you watched season 1, episode 1, or season 3, episode 1.
There's a pig.
That's season 1, episode 1. Yeah,
oh, okay.
That's why you're saying what you're saying, and I'm thinking he sounds like he's talking about the pig episode. But
yeah,
okay, yeah.
That is so messed up. I'm just saying, it's so messed up.
And that's
completely plausible. Completely plausible.
Everything on the show is completely plausible.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of messed up that way.
Yeah, it gets. Oh my god, dude, you're in for it.
Yeah, no, that's so messed up.
The episode.
Let me tell you, the acting, phenomenal. Like there was no point where it didn't feel like a British spy serial kind of thing. You know, it was really well done. I was really impressed with it.
It's great. There's an episode with Ron Howard's daughter.
Oh yeah.
And it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
and funny at the same time.
I don't think we talked about this. Maybe we did, but I platinumed Marvel Heroes, which is my 4th platinum. Matt, you better watch out. I'm totally not coming for your platinum record. But this was an MMO basically that I platinumed, so I'm pretty happy with it. It's surprisingly still not my rarest trophies, but yeah.
I think still the one from Munchie's Odyssey that I've got is still my rarest.
Yeah, I believe it. I know the one on the PS3 for me I think was the wrestling game that we had the developer on and we interviewed him because there were only like 50 recorded trophy holders for it. But yeah. So yeah, and then they released a update that added exactly 1 new event and had 2 new trophies with it, and I finished those trophies off in an hour, and I am now once again without content in Marvel Heroes. And I will once again reinforce to any developers that will never watch this show, but I'm going to say it anyways, don't launch your game out of beta if you have no new content to launch. Period. That is a dumb thing to do. Stop doing it because you're going to make your player base go away, which I did. And now I'm back playing Star Trek Online again because they have a ton of new content for me to play. I stepped away for a quarter, and no joke, there's like 5 new story episodes and 10 new events for me to do.
Yeah, but the purpose of a beta is to have players test everything out for them, so then they can release it to the players who don't want to do beta.
That is
I understand. I understand that you think that you're now this entitled player base for it, but that's not the purpose of a beta. Is they want somebody to test it out and not pay them.
I agree with you. However, this was a month-long open beta before the launch of the game, and one of the things that went down that we discussed on the last podcast was they were getting rid of the Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer character on the PC version. And so I bought Silver Surfer on the PC version. And while I was there, I checked out what 4 years of the game looked like versus what we got on the PlayStation at launch. And we have nothing compared to what the PC version has. So there's not a reason why they couldn't introduce more things or more content. It just seems like they're not, for whatever reason. And they, if there were still like beta problems, I guess I'd get that. But they haven't done any major major bug fixes since the launch of the game either. Like a couple minor things, but that's it. And they've rolled out what their schedule is through I believe September, and there is no new content until the end of September, other than introducing like one new hero. But if you've got nothing new to do with the heroes, then it becomes this really boring grind fest, and we're noticing people dropping off from playing the game. So it seems concerning that they're closing in on, I think, a month since the actual launch of the game, and there's no end game content whatsoever.
So people have been playing the game. People have been playing the game for a month.
No, people have been playing the game for 2 months because it was a month open beta. Then they launched, and then it's been a month since then.
That's huge in game world.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that's huge in game. Like keeping someone's attention for 2 months is huge.
Well, I'm not saying that they're keeping the 2 month people. That's what we see stopping is all the
that's what I'm saying. If
people are going away.
They were able to keep people's attention for 2 months. That's a huge win for them. For a game like that.
But they're not, so it's not a huge win. That's why I'm bringing it
No,
up.
they did, and they're done. So they got everything out of those people. They don't care.
He's saying they've sucked as much money as they're reasonably going to suck out of them in 6 to 8 weeks.
Right.
And so he's saying he thinks that's the retainment time for profitability for any given user. So if the profitability window is 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks, then those players, they don't really care whether or not they lose them because they've already spent the majority of the money that they're going to spend anyway.
But
yeah, this isn't World of Warcraft.
But STO is the same model, and they keep introducing a ton of new content that gives you more reasons to spend money in the game. You don't have to.
What's STO?
Star Trek Online.
Star Trek Online.
Oh yeah, but that's a different. I mean, it's a whole different thing.
It's exactly the same. I mean,
no, that's actually kind of a different game.
No, the difference is it's ships rather than heroes. It's the exact same.
Well,
thing.
no, it's not. I mean, there's a significant difference between a Diablo clone and an over-the-shoulder
sort of
RPG.
But the end purpose is the same. It's grind for loot. And
so Star Trek Online so Marvel Heroes needs PlayStation VR to play?
No. You're getting different. You're thinking Star Trek Bridge Crew. That's different.
Oh, what's Star Trek Online?
That's the MMO Star Trek, like World of Warcraft.
Free to play, also like Marvel Heroes.
Where you're just doing so it's a Diablo clone?
Sort of. Except that there's 2 modes. You've got space mode where you can grind for loot like a Diablo clone, and then there's ground mode where you can grind for loot like grind for ground loot like a Diablo clone.
Well, the similarity of grinding for loot is the similarity. The format is different.
A little different, yeah.
The format's more World of Warcraft than Diablo.
Here's mission. Go do mission. Turn in mission for best rewards. Grind for loot along the way.
Okay, yeah. You're describing half the games in existence.
If you want to be that blasé about it, that's every video game.
Oh.
Yeah, but my point is, I think the developers understand that the attention span of somebody that's generally going to be attracted to the Marvel Heroes game is probably going to have a shorter attention span for that particular thing than people who were ongoing on a monthly basis playing World of Warcraft. Otherwise, the game would have a monthly fee, and they would just be trying to tap into that. It's a totally different thing, and they probably did the math and figured out that if they can get 2 months out of people, that's a win for them. And they're just going to keep trying to churn more people at that kind of
3 or 4 months be a bigger win?
You're playing the old Lemonade game, dude.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, you never played the old Lemonade game when you were a kid?
I don't think so.
Where you got to try and guess the right, the right number and the right amount of sugar and lemon to put in the lemonade, depending on the weather and everything, to get the maximized profits for the day? No? Am I the only one?
I can't tell if Matt's frozen or he's just refusing to participate in the conversation.
Probably a little both.
Probably.
I tuned out 15 minutes ago.
My point is that the developers probably did the number crunching on their side, because otherwise they'd be dumping stuff out left and right. There's no reason for them not to. So clearly, this is the model they want to go with. They're weighing, the amount of development and the amount of work they have to do versus what they're going to get in return, and that's what you're getting out of it.
That seems like a very bad way to create a sustainable community over time.
They're not trying to establish a sustainable community over time.
But that's not what their messaging says to their players. Their messaging to their players on their forums and every communication that they have says that's what they want to do.
Oh God, that's a lie. They want them to just give them money. They want them to give them money for everything and go away.
Right. Okay. Well, Star Trek Online is the only other thing I've been playing. That's very fun. I suggest you play it. It's free. And then last but not least, we have a bunch of trailers to get into.
Yay.
Let me close this out. And we will start with arguably the one we will have the most conversation on, which is going to be Ready Player One. So, Kate, have you watched read what Ready Player One?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Matt, you are the only person I think then that has not.
Kate, did you like the book Ready Player One?
I did.
Okay. Matt is not answering, but I'm pretty sure Matt has not read the book.
No, I think he's gone.
Okay.
So I really liked the book.
Yeah, Matt has not read the book.
Okay. The thing that I would stress before we watch this, because a lot of people are super confused about it, is that this is a world-building teaser. It addresses the story in no way, shape, or form. Like
other than hinting at it through song.
Yeah, pretty much. So we'll give this a spin and we'll discuss afterwards, and then we'll back up if we need to
and I watched it.
45. There's nowhere left to go. Nowhere.
Go ahead, Dave.
I said I watched it again. I still think it's Slade.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get into that.
Except the Oasis. I was born in 2025. But I wish I'd grown up in the 1980s. Like all my heroes. I live here in Columbus, Ohio. In 2045, it's still ranked the fastest growing city on Earth. But it sure doesn't seem like it when you live in the stacks. They called our generation the missing millions. Missing not because we went anywhere. There's nowhere left to go. Nowhere. Except the Oasis. It's the only place that feels like I mean anything. A world
That
where
shot
the
doesn't have
limits of
sword.
reality are your own imagination.
Okay, so there is so much to unpack here.
In 20...
And we'll do that here in a second. Now, I know that, Dave, you said something about Slade, I'm sure. So that's fine.
Yeah. Deadshot doesn't carry swords like that on his back.
Yeah, that's what I said too, but Ernest Cline's the one who said that it was Deadshot. So I don't know, maybe he just doesn't know. But
yeah, and also
there's nowhere
and
left to go.
can you stop doing that?
Turn it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Liam Neeson, wasn't Ra's al Ghul in the Batman movie.
Okay.
Nowhere except the oasis.
So let's talk about a couple things that are different, the same off the bat. So
That's the
first thing.
That's the first time I've seen that trailer.
Yeah.
I actually didn't like it.
You didn't what?
I didn't like it.
You're not the only person to say that.
That's very common.
Because it makes, if you've read the book, it's more of a D&D choose your own adventure kind of feel book where you just happen to go in VR. That makes it seem like it's minority. Like, it's just like, it makes it focus too much on it being, look at all this future horse bull crap.
Well,
and that's really not the essence of the book.
Well, I would say that there is a underlying theme in the book about humanity retreating into technology to escape its problems in the real world, which I think is probably the direction.
There is, but this made it totally seem like, I don't know, look at all the Tron stuff that we can do.
Well, and that's, again, I think they were trying, this trailer is completely style over substance, in my opinion. This is not talk about it doesn't talk about the game, it doesn't talk about the hunt, it doesn't talk about who any of these people are, and I think as like a proof of concept of here's the world we're building, it's okay. It's confusing because of the race scene. To be this first part, if they would have just done that, I would have been totally fine with it.
Yeah, so would I. It's the second with the whole like, the second half with like the car racing. It's just like, what? This is stupid. So
yeah, this looks like the sequel to Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
If it would have stopped where you think it's going to stop the first time, yeah, I think it would be 100%
I was just
better
expecting
trailer.
Tom Cruise to come out of one of the cars at the end.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. So,
I live here in Columbus, Ohio.
All right, so that's the first change. Is we're not in Oklahoma City anymore. We're in Columbus, Ohio. So I don't know.
That's obvious as to why they would do that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like, okay, sure.
Actually, no, that doesn't make any sense. I was just saying.
Yeah, why was that obvious?
Really? You haven't read the book, Matt, so I don't want to get into any spoiler territory.
Okay,
there is actually a very simple reason why they would change it from Oklahoma City to, yeah.
City on Earth.
Okay.
Well, all right. I guess.
I don't see why they would change it.
Probably to allay fears about what happens in the book later.
I guess so.
I guess that's the only thing I could think of. So here we get our first glimpse of a stripper in the Oasis, which is hilarious, and she's
like it when you live in the stacks.
Working the pole there. Dumb thing to notice. Roll of toilet paper outside the van. Nice detail. Yeah. Kind of. Everybody's got to poop. I think there's stick. Oh.
That whole pole dancer thing. Now that you mention it, that just makes this whole thing. Sorry, now I'm thinking about it. So you've got to move in real space to be able to move in that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever now, because he's not going to move around a giant world in his van.
So they actually explain it.
Okay, I'm just saying that I'm assuming there's just for that shot just doesn't. It's incongruous. It just
read the book.
Yeah, they do explain it in the book, but it's a good.
But again, as a trailer,
trailer
set the thing for someone who doesn't know anything about the book.
Can anybody see what those stickers are? I looked at them before, and I'm really far away from my monitor, so I can't see it.
It didn't look like anything in particular.
No, there was something
Smiley
there,
face.
and I can't remember what it is, but that's fine. Whatever.
Not because we went anywhere.
So this guy, way too good looking for Parzival. That was my first concern, because Parzival.
Though,
Yeah, but that's
like
This
on
is-
TV and movies. No one's ever ugly.
But
You just have
Dude.
to accept it on TV.
Yeah.
No one's ever
all
ugly.
right.
Yeah, come on,
I
dude.
was just
Somebody-
hoping for the arc where they actually show him getting into.
Talking about, we were talking
Okay, so this is another interesting thing.
Well, we were going back. No, we were talking about Game of Thrones earlier. Have you read what Tyrion is supposed to look like in the books?
Hey, yes, I have seen that.
They never make anyone ugly.
Okay, fine, sure. But this is one of the big departures right here. Is that and I don't really think it's a spoiler. It's just different, which I don't mind. Is that here we see that he's putting on IOI haptic feedback gloves. In the book, he had non-IOI gear provided by his school. So this is interesting that they're actually choosing. I think IOI is actually going to have a much larger presence in the movie based on how much we see it. And just so that you're not really confused later, Matt, IOI employees are called Sixers because they have a 6-digit number rather than using a name in the Oasis. So, if you see those dorks running around that have all numbers for names instead of an actual name, that would be the example of people that work for this company. They're called Sixers because it would be 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. But it's interesting because this tells me that IOI is going to have a much larger presence than Halliday's company.
Except the Oasis. It's the only place that feels like I mean anything.
Okay. Does he have swords?
Yep.
Okay.
2 swords crossed across his back.
All right. So definitely
Just
Harley
like-
Quinn, and definitely I'm gonna agree with you and say Slade.
Deathstroke.
Yeah,
It's
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
Yep.
See, look. Did you see him?
No.
There were
I
2
was
crossed
looking-
swords across his back.
Okay.
It's either that or Deadpool, and we've kind of eliminated that as an option already. So
Probably. We do have Dumbledore and a few other people dancing up here, so that's good stuff.
Iron Giant, obviously.
Iron Giant and Saito and Doto. So one of the
Don't need
things
to
that,
pause for Steven Spielberg's name.
except that I wanted to say something about Steven Spielberg, so I did pause. So one of the things that he said early on in the development was that he was not going to reference any of his own movies because it would be too self-referential. I hope that's really not the case. I hope they do.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case because there's one particular reference I want to see him reference.
Exactly. Yeah, there's... So here we get our first shot of the DeLorean. So this is actually another thing that they've changed for the movie, which I'm actually okay with this. I don't know how far to get into this, but I am not in the camp that changes to the book to fit on the screen better are bad things. This actually looks way more interesting than what actually happened in the book in this chapter. So I'm okay with this, personally. Is there anybody that's not okay with this?
I'm okay with this part. Like, the thing you have to understand between books and movies is that they are 2 different mediums.
Right.
You can do a lot of things in books that are better in a book that don't work visually. Whereas a movie, you lose a lot of background detail and, that sort of thing because you can't do an inner monologue in a movie. So stuff like this...
Unless you're Ferris Bueller.
Yes, but most of the time, like, you can't. It's just impossible.
Right.
Or, like, a lot of the times, like, internal character reactions to, like, world building. You can't do that, really, without the whole movie just being someone talking the entire time. So, you know, you have to take some changes. That's like, obviously they have to change it because otherwise it would just be 5 hours of someone just reacting to things.
Mm-hmm. So this is a scorpion tank, and these are ostriches from Joust, the 80s video game that turns into an egg when they die. Quick shout out Freddy Krueger, and over here we've got Duke Nukem. And
actually Duke Nukem is on the other side.
Oh, is he over there? Sorry.
Yeah, that's Duke Nukem.
I still can't see my screen. Watch Freddy when he dies. Scott Pilgrim says, "Oh look, coins." So that works for me. So that's 8th, which is a pretty huge deviation from the book. Okay, let's see where that goes. So this is also another deviation, is that they had all the IOI avatars in the Sixers be robots. And I actually think that's a pretty good way to represent them. Spotted in this sequence is the A-Team van, Lara Croft, the monster truck Bigfoot, the Charger from Starsky and Hutch.
There's an F1 car there too, which I assume is a reference to pole position.
It could very well be. So this is 8th, and looks like he's in Bigfoot. So that is Akira Cycle, and that has been confirmed to be, oh my god, my brain just stopped working. The antagonist slash, what's her name? My brain stopped. No help, huh?
Mine too.
No.
No, it's also like the girl.
Yes, the girl. I can't remember. Yeah. So, an interesting thing, on her Akira bike, Hello Kitty stickers and Atari stickers. And then we have the DeLorean there, and I was hoping to try and time it right, but the plate on the back, the vanity plates, read Parsival, which is the name of his character. Do you notice that there's a maze in the O?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. And then the crystal key. I get why, Dave, you were saying before the show that you were apprehensive about it. I'm more Transformers.
Yeah, my thing is I don't.
I trust Steven Spielberg way more than I trust Michael Bay, but
I agree.
Yes, but at the same time, Steven Spielberg, like, there's a difference between Steven Spielberg from, the 80s versus Steven Spielberg later. And it seems like he's lost a lot of his fun. And I'm hoping this movie is a return to Steven Spielberg having fun.
I hope so,
and
too.
That's kind of what I worry about, that it's going to be, more focused on dystopic action as opposed to, the book is generally considered to be a love letter to the 80s geek. So
somehow I missed the news that that T.J. Miller was in this movie, and I immediately was going to say, basically say, who could they have gotten as a new character, because he said it was a brand new character. Well, it turns out it's not. It's a character that was in the movie, or that was in the book for a short period of time. He's playing IROC, which is fine. And I think they could expand that role to let him be the comedic relief. Sure, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I got no problem with that. But I don't understand why they're framing it as it's a new character, because it's really not.
maybe they're just changing it all around, and he's just going to be like, used completely differently. Which is fine. I mean, it's an adaptation. It's, make changes and everything. However, when they make, adaptations and stuff, I'd really rather see them keep the spirit of it. Mm-hmm. Like, they can change everything in story. Like, for instance, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They make drastic changes to, like, the stories and everything, but it kind of keeps the feeling and the spirit of stuff. Mm-hmm. So nobody has a problem with it. This book is fun. It's light. It's not, super deep literature that people really take time to break down. It is what it is. It's fun, happy, it's fun, pulpy, 80s geek stuff, Doesn't need to go crazy, but it should be fun and lighthearted. I saw a lot in that trailer that wasn't lighthearted.
So you're afraid that it's going to take the DC universe path of making something too dark.
Yeah, especially for something that shouldn't be. And that's kind of like how Spielberg, if you look at Spielberg stuff, remember the movie AI?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Spielberg did the second half of it after Kubrick did the first half. And you could see the exact split of where Steven Spielberg took over. But it still wasn't fun Steven Spielberg, And he just kind of lost that somewhere along the way.
I don't mind fun as long as it's still urgent and important the way the book makes it out to be. Because I don't want to lose that, but I don't mind keeping the fun side of it. And I'm hoping that's part of what TJ Miller brings to the table. So we'll see.
Yeah, it just doesn't need to be... I don't want everything to be PlayStation 1, where all the games are just different shades of gray and brown.
I don't think we're going to see that.
Well, according to the trailer, that's all I saw.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who doesn't know the book, has a passing understanding of the plot from just having heard people talk about it, that movie gave me no reason to watch it. It was pretty. It fell into the trope of using, again, with the 80s reference, okay, the music makes sense, but it's yet another 80s rock opera trailer with the song thrown in there for whatever reason, maybe.
I am a sucker for Tom Sawyer. I can't help it.
That's fine, but that's been a lot of that recently. A lot of that kind of just random song thrown in there for whatever reason. And I don't know. I came out of that going, okay, so why would I spend money to go see this? It looked pretty okay.
I think they actually...
It didn't do anything to get me excited.
Yeah, and I think that's really, I think they said, we've got to put something together for Comic-Con.
And that's only the thing, too, where... because we are people who are coming to this movie because we have seen the book. Matt is someone who... That's the kind of person who the trailer was aimed at, is someone who doesn't know the source material.
Was it? Or I think it was the other way around.
No,
yeah, I'm actually the opposite camp.
Yeah, I think it was only aimed at us to get us excited about it.
It failed too because it didn't make me excited at all.
Yeah, exactly.
It should have been aimed at people like me, but I think it was at y'all.
Well, no, I think it was aimed at people like you, but they assumed you actually read the book and you didn't.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. By me, I meant someone who hasn't read the book.
Oh, no.
There are far more people on the planet who haven't read the book.
Well, in general, but people in our circle have generally read the book.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's more odd that somebody like you has not read the book.
Fair enough.
And on that dark note, let's go to something lighter.
Dark note? I just accused them of not reading, that's all.
Launchpad, have you ever piloted a sub before?
I sunk a helicopter in a wave pool once. Same thing?
I've done more with less. No matter, I'm back! Uncharted territory! Bold new discoveries!
Hello, bingo! I love love road trips. I've got snacks, a playlist of traditional sea shanties, matching family road trip shirts.
Yeah, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but there's no time.
But according to the travel itinerary...
Boo! Adventure isn't about planning, it's about doing. So, what can I be in charge of?
The bus arms? No!
Sonic cannons?
No!
Hyper-dense zero-point energy missiles to pierce the scaly hide of a kraken?
None of those things are real things. This is your first expedition, so just stand back and watch an old pro from a safe distance.
So what is this submarine equipped with?
Seat belts.
Ha! Good one. Classic Scrooge Dewey banter. The seasoned but tired explorer passing the torch to his cocky young successor.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't actually know our names.
I'm sorry, what?
I think he called me Herbert once.
Don't be ridiculous. Hey, Scrooge, when are we gonna set sail, Scrooge?
In a moment, Sonny Jim.
I will cram it down your throat.
Guys, lighten up! We're on a deep sea expedition with Scrooge McDuck!
Mr. McQuack, chart a course. Next stop, the lost city of Atlantis! Woohoo! In about 16 hours!
Shanty time!
Across the sea, the ocean.
Not aimed at me, but okay.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, why are we watching this?
Because we needed something to break up the Ready Player One discussion afterwards.
And listening to David Tennant as Scrooge McDuck does tickle my fancy.
It is jarring for like that first 5 seconds, but after that, it's completely fine. At least for me. At least for me.
I would love to see him in the soundstage doing that, though, because I can just see him gesticulating and making facial some of those lines. But yeah, no, I'd probably be watch that or have people in the house who are interested in watching that. I'm hopeful. It's a show, but you know, it's given enough reason for hope at this point. So probably be watching it for a bit.
I'm still trying to figure out why Doctor Who is impersonating Walter Frey, but whatever.
It's the other way around.
Walter Frey was impersonating Doctor Who. I think that would be much more difficult. But
Love, pride, hate, fear.
Have you no emotions, sir?
I'm the Doctor.
I am the Doctor.
Something has gone very wrong with time. We're trapped inside a single moment.
So sorry. I don't suppose either of you is a doctor.
You're trying to be funny.
Those police boxers, they're ever so good, aren't they?
We do have one little advantage.
What advantage?
There's two of us.
Is he here? Is the doctor here?
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.
Just don't let him plan any weddings.
Or be invited to any. He never shows up.
Or be the caretaker of a magic school.
So.
Yeah, it looks okay.
I don't watch Doctor Who, so
yeah.
Well, you know, multiple ways an anticipated thing, and this bringing the original Doctor, obviously that's what's his face, and he played William Hartnell / the Doctor in the Doctor Who documentary movie about William Hartnell and the first Doctor. So that, you know, he's done this before, so he's familiar with the part and everything. I remember it. I think it looks good. They dropped the bomb which kind of surprised me. If they were going to drop,
you cut out, so I have
you're cutting out really bad. They dropped the bomb that something
that Bill's going to be in the episode. Would have thought they would have left for the actual episode rather than doing that. Mark Gatiss has a long history with Doctor Who, so you'll see him in there. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it's going.
I wonder
if regeneration. We know that already.
I wonder if this is going to be the time that they finally introduce the crossover and he calls up his brother Sherlock for help. Sorry.
Probably not.
Crossing the streams. Then there was the official Comic-Con trailer for the Orville, which, Kate, I'm guessing you've not seen this, right?
I actually have seen this trailer.
You have seen this. Have you seen this trailer, Dave?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Okay. All right, so we'll take a quick peek.
Cool.
There's a ship available. An exploratory vessel, the USS Orville. And we're offering you command.
You kidding? That's not bad, right?
No, it's good. Paint some flames on the side, and maybe like a rainbow unicorn. You got something.
Engage quantum drive. We need protection. Protection from what? The krill.
You will die.
There's no way we're gonna be out by 5 today, are we?
You wanna open this jar of pickles for me? I loosened it for you.
We're on the edge of the frontier of explored space. That doesn't excite you?
Boom, bitch! The Orville premieres Sunday, September 10th on Fox.
Cool.
So I don't want to talk about it yet, because I want to compare and contrast with the next trailer. There we go.
Oh, why are you gonna make us watch this?
Because it is a brand new trailer that came out of Comic-Con.
All life is born from chaos. The world doesn't always adhere to logic. Sometimes down is up. And sometimes when you're lost, you're found.
The Klingon Empire has been in disarray for generations.
We've encountered them.
We have been waiting for someone worthy of our attention.
Captain, incoming.
Change is the essential process of all existence, Commander Burnham.
Go!
You must challenge your preconceptions, or they most certainly will challenge you.
What the hell is going on this ship?
Run!
We are creating a new way to fly.
Better hurry. I'm getting very close to.
You're mad.
I'm mud. You chose to do the right thing. Even at great cost to yourself. You helped start a war. Don't you want to help me end it?
But I don't know what to do.
I have so many problems. You know, I just read an article that said that they brought in all these people to do like fact checking against previous series and one thing. At what point did they not realize that if this is 10 years before the original Enterprise, nothing should look like it's 200 years past the Enterprise from the original series?
Why are the Klingons purple?
Why are the Klingons purple?
Because F you, that's why.
Yeah, no, that's exactly correct. I mean, the sad part is I think Gene Roddenberry would look at these two and say the first one looked more in the spirit of Trek than the actual Trek one.
The only thing that's upsetting about between these two trailers is Star Trek Discovery actually seems funnier.
For the wrong reasons.
Still.
Yeah, I love Galaxy Quest. I love it.
Yeah.
And the Orville is essentially Galaxy Quest TV show, except I loathe Seth MacFarlane, so I'm probably not going to watch it.
I don't know. He's got a great supporting cast. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to watch it. I actually like the guy, and I kind of hate the guy at the same time.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to be, like, you know, like, he's actually a really funny dude and everything. And, like, he has, like, you know, that seriously great, grasp of lowbrow humor. But given that, you think the guy would have the decency to at least be ugly and not talented? But he's also good looking and can sing, and it's just obnoxious. Like, he's just obnoxious.
Yeah, I mean, I keep trying to find things in there that I like in Star Treks, and I'm not.
Michelle Yeoh and Jason Isaacs, I like both of them.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm beginning to think that it's a I'm beginning to think it's a Prisoner of War series.
Well, they're shoehorning in Harry Mudd, so that's fun for the old heads.
And again, they're not shoehorning in Harry Mudd that we're used to. It's now a dark and gritty, edgy Harry Mudd who actually is doing something that can screw something up rather than being a buffoon who's just making his way through the galaxy.
Yeah, I can't wait till they screw up Q.
You shut your dirty whore mouth.
Oh, it's happening, dude. You know that's happening.
Oh my god.
And it's not going to be John Delancey. It's going to be someone doing a horrible John Delancey impersonation.
Why are you trying to make me bleed internally?
Dude, I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
Yeah, that kind of looks like they're trying to do like what they tried to do with Stargate when they did Stargate Universe, which was horrible and a terrible failure. And I can't imagine this is going to go much better.
Even if this was good, it's already on a platform that's going to make it a terrible failure.
Right.
Yeah, it's Star Trek Gotham is what it's going to end up being.
Well, no, why is it
Gotham's
All
gotten...
Access? That's what I meant.
I'm going to murder
watch
you
it on CBS All Access. It should have been on Netflix. CBS All Access, which no one has.
Right.
And no one will have.
No.
And even if you do have, you can't watch it.
Yeah. The thing that, like, out of this new trailer that really, really made me upset were two small things. And they're small in the big scheme of things, but they're huge to me. Well, okay, three things. The third being the Klingons, because WTF with the Klingons, but I digress there. Number one, it had a scene of her, what looked like she was moving from a force field area through actual space unprotected to another force field area.
Yeah, what was up with all the force fields? That was
for the love of God, people cannot survive in space for even a small amount of time. Once it freezes, it doesn't go back. One of my biggest problems with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, if you hold your breath, you can do it.
If you unhold your breath. If you hold your breath, you're going to rip your nose out your mouth.
I love that you just tried to kill someone.
She was holding her breath. It's fine. And don't bring Guardians of the Galaxy in it because Gamora was enhanced, and Star-Lord is what?
Gamora was not enhanced in that way. Star-Lord was a god, so sure, whatever. But Gamora is not.
Wait, Gamora's not enhanced in like 8 million ways?
To my knowledge, not that way. She's still killable the normal way.
She's Thanos' daughter. I figure there'd be some sort of bloodline where she could survive it briefly in space.
Yeah, dude, she's got all kinds of upgrades.
She's not Thanos' daughter. He killed her parents on her homeworld and claimed her homeworld.
Whatever.
So
right, but she's got all kinds of upgrades.
She's
an alien.
She is an alien.
All right, Jesus, mother.
I mean,
so that was the first thing. The other thing is that it actually looked to me like they were trying to introduce some kind of horror element to it. With the whole
creepy
scene.
crawly thing.
Yeah, I'm like, really?
That's why the Klingons are purple, because they're possessed by those critters from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
One of the things too.
Nice.
That it's like he's on about the technology. It's like if you look at the original, like the way, like the Klingons never look the same, but they don't even look close to what they look like in the original series. They look like they're evolved from the movie Klingons, which is a totally different universe.
Yeah, but if this is before... I mean, this is before... Way
TOS.
before the first series, right?
10 years. 10 years before TOS.
It's before... Wait, is that the original series? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Because I didn't know we need to use acronyms when we're talking out loud. So if it's 10 years before the original series, then all the Klingons should be, you know, kind of prissy British people.
They should look like humans with some dirt on them.
Actually, they should not. They actually should not. They should look like Worf from Next Generation. Because
it depends on which group they run into.
Yeah, they retconned that in Enterprise, wasn't it?
Yeah. The genetic
Yeah. The genetic... Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Whatever, who cares?
Whatever, yeah.
That doesn't even look right. That doesn't look like a Klingon battle cruiser.
Yeah, so let's move from one
train wreck dumpster fire to another.
To another, yeah. The Gifted with the X-Men coming to Fox near you. If I can click on the right screen, there we go.
You never know you're a mutant.
What is that?
Until it happens the first time.
I need to find my brother!
On this day, everything changes. Forever.
2 mutant kids from Dallas almost took down a high school gym. Feds are coming in. If it wasn't too hot before, it sure as hell is now.
I just can't believe there wasn't any warning. Mom, you know that's how it happens. It's moments of stress or danger. Dad talks about this all the time.
We all know about your father's work. I don't see how that makes you an expert.
Mom, I know because... How do you think we got out of that gym?
Why didn't you tell me?
Dad puts people like us in jail.
My experience, things change when it's your own kid.
Yeah. Hear about the mutant incident at the high school? Those are my kids. What? My family needs help.
We can't take this risk, all right?
Then when do we fight? The X-Men, the Brotherhood, we don't even know if they exist anymore. But we're getting picked off, one by one.
This is the story of 2 families.
Is everyone? Yeah, we're all here.
Who came together to protect each other.
Cops, coming fast this way.
Not the ones with resources, but the ones in the shadows, fighting to hide, to escape. To survive. This is our story.
Go now!
also a gift.
You ever burn anyone with that?
Uh-huh.
What about your girlfriend? You ever burn her?
Yeah. She doesn't care. That's why she's my girlfriend.
Kinky.
Boring.
It just why? Okay, so I'm gonna ask a couple questions that I've been thinking about since I watched this. Like, why would they bring in a perfectly good character like Blink only to misuse her in the way it seems like they're going to?
My favorite part of the trailer was the part where it's like, you know, Thunderbird, Polaris, Blink, Andy Strucker.
Yeah,
like,
and that's
cool nicknames plus Andy
like
Strucker.
super weird to me, because one of the things that I was, the only Strucker in the Marvel universe is the Baron Von type. So I was wondering if that makes the dad Baron Von Strucker in this universe.
I wonder if that means the kid's gonna turn into Baron Von Strucker. I don't know.
But I also thought, man, they're gonna be screwed when they find out he's a vampire. No, nobody watches True Blood. The dad's the main character from. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the dad is the main character of True Blood. He's a vampire in that show. So
time ago.
That was the same actor?
Yes, that's Bill.
Wow.
Bill Compton.
Okay.
Yep.
Never would have recognized him.
I was like, that guy looks familiar, but I didn't place it.
Yeah. It looks very generic.
I'll be honest.
Why did you make us watch that?
To discuss it.
Yeah, this to me looks like it has the chance. I mean, all that was from the first episode, right? That scenes were from the pilot,
right?
So it's going to suffer from pilotitis. That much is clear. But it's got a Runaways vibe to it that I'm interested to see if they can pull off version of Runaways. I know the premise is different. I understand, but still the kind of on the run aspect of it, I'm interested enough that I'll watch. It can't be worse than Gotham. That's all I can say.
That's very true. So where I was going with the first question of why they would bring in a horribly good character like Blink to misuse her like that, could this be an Exiles TV show? Could this secretly be the beginning of Exiles? Because I think it is. They said that this is going to be in a separate universe from the movies, from Legion, and from the movie. I said the movies. The movies and Legion. And that makes me think that maybe they're going to do exactly what you said, kind of combine Runaways and eventually Exiles and have them universe hop at some point so that we can introduce more mutants, etc.
Is Eclipse unique, or is he from... That's the one I didn't recognize.
Yeah, I think he's unique. I'm not familiar with him off the top of my head. And I know most of the X-Men, unless he's like a post-2005 character. In which case, then yes, they'd probably surprise me. But yeah, I wanted to discuss it. That's why we watched it, because I think that a lot of people, it's not on their radar, and I think it's one that we should be talking about a little bit. The next one my wife is extremely excited for. Me, not so much. I'm still on the fence about it, to be honest. I like some of the actors, and this is
Robert DaCosta's original alias was Eclipse.
Oh, okay. I'm down with that. Oops.
But that would mean he's a genius too.
God, I hope they meet up with Forge at some point.
I've been looking for you.
What are we?
What if I told you there's a place where people have powers like us?
The city of Adelan. And I can take you there. We're Inhumans.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this, see what's behind.
Brother, sooner or later the humans are going to find us.
Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying.
Their first course of action will be to try to destroy us.
Run!
I'm only human after all.
We need to go to Earth now. We need to strike first.
It would only lead to war.
Are you speaking for yourself or for our king?
Some people got the real problem. Some people lot of love. Only human after all.
Maximus is trying to take over Adelan.
Put the blame on me.
Are you going to kill your only brother?
Don't put the blame on me. Stop it! Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. I'm only human after all.
Honor me as your new king.
After all, don't put the blame on me.
Never.
Don't put your blame on me.
You're just a human.
I like it better than the first one, but I'm still like, I don't know. I mean, like you said, that's got to be from the first two IMAX episodes that they're putting together for the IMAX event, and great, but I just don't know. There's not a whole lot of a hook there yet for me.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise, Maximus is trying to take over the Inhumans from Black Bolt. You know, that's never happened before.
Well, hey, at least they're going with a comic story. You know, a storyline
True.
that it actually happens in the books. So I'm all right with that. My wife is super excited about it, so I can't be upset about it. I will definitely watch it. It's just, I don't know. There's nothing there. I'm going to give it a run. I hope it is good, but there's nothing there that gets me super excited.
There's nothing bad there. There's nothing good there. There's just it's indeterminate at this point. Interesting little fact: Triton is played by a martial arts instructor out of Madison, I think, somewhere in Wisconsin.
Nice. So next up we have Krypton, which is coming to Sci-Fi. You know, Dave has something to say. Why are you not talking, Dave? Yeah, we cannot hear you. No. Now try speaking.
How about now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Oh, weird. I was wondering why everybody was ignoring my stuff from before.
Oh, we didn't hear you because, yeah.
So my X-Men joke was, in all fairness, all the movies are separate universes from each other. Okay, thank you. The my other comment for this was, let's stop saying there's nothing good about the show, about the trailers. Nothing good. There's nothing good to rope you in. There's a giant teleporting space dog. We got that at least.
Yeah, they don't seem to have screwed up Lockjaw, so that's positive.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. I'll concede that point. I agree with that. They have Lockjaw, and they have Medusa's hair right, so that's good too.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was actually kind of cool. They showed that off finally.
Yeah, and I was super.
I was worried they were just gonna have her have like long hair.
Yeah. All right, so if you know nothing about Krypton, because most people don't know anything about Krypton,
this trailer won't help.
No, it really won't. But this is set, I believe, 10 years before the planet Krypton blows up, and it centers around Superman's grandfather, actually. So, and this is the teaser that they released at San Diego Comic-Con for it, which is very short.
blood of House L will always bind us together.
So it's Gotham.
So it's Gotham, yeah.
It's actually probably worse than Gotham. Because it's going to involve nobody you care about.
Yeah, why would it be his grandfather and not Jor-El?
Because they can without screwing up the timelines, because there's nothing in the books about the grandfather, I would imagine.
And he said it's 10 years before the planet blows up?
I believe so.
So it's basically we have to, suffer through 9 years and 364 days of crap we don't care about.
Unless they make it... Yeah, political intrigue. Unless they make it like 24, and each season is only one day.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, so let's get to some stuff that actually looks pretty freaking cool. So this one's back on the previous page.
Oh, okay. Little bit off. According to the official summary, the show is set approximately 200 years before.
Oh, 200 years. I'm sorry.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
That's okay. Well, that means that it's even farther back, and you could care even less.
Worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it even more like why.
Krypton will follow Superman's grandfather, whose House of L was ostracized and shamed, as he fights to redeem his family's honor and save his beloved world from chaos. And they broke the pattern.
Skylanders?
I don't think so. It was lowercase c. And they should start with an I.
Say again, you broke up.
I was to say the grandfather's name should start with I. Jor-El, Kal-El. It should be like Il-El. But it starts with an S.
He's the illest of the L's.
Yes. Oh, we've got a Zod.
Well, of course we would.
Actually, I have two Zods.
Is Bright not on this list? Oh. No, I'm on the wrong page. That's why. I clicked afterwards to go to one, but it didn't like it. Fine. And the only reason we're not doing the Kingsman is because it's a Red Band trailer. Right. So, is there any of us who have not seen this trailer for Bright?
I haven't. I have no idea what it is.
Okay.
I just watched it right before.
Yeah, I've seen it.
We'll discuss after.
Why is there a fair in the bird feed area?
Good afternoon, officer. Fairy lives don't matter today. That's it right there. Now take the little homie out LAPD style like you do. Oh, and you keep doing all your gangster stuff. I'm just trying to sell my house. Don't worry about that. Everybody's just trying to get along and have a good life. All of the races are different. Just because they're different doesn't mean anybody's better or worse than anybody. Hey, where's the diversity hire? I got a dude in my car. I didn't ask for it, but the whole world is watching. Boy, it's okay. You don't like me. Man, I'm not out here to be your friend. I need to know if shit pop off that you got my back.
Can't hide it, Wood. Humans have physical tells. Like the face.
What's my face?
The human who needs a lot more conjugal love type face.
Do not wink at me like that.
All Westlake units requesting assistance.
3 Adam 9, show us en route.
Shouldn't we wait for the cavalry?
We are the cavalry.
What is it? That's a magic wand. This is like a nuclear weapon that grants wishes.
That's whatever you want. You want to be taller or shorter? You want $10 million? You're not stealing that wine.
days I close my eyes and fade away.
You gotta get out of this neighborhood.
That's just the dark side of me.
They're gonna kill you, then me. And that's when the stupid shit's gonna start.
Not afraid of the dark.
The magic wand. We have to secure it.
I'm already knowing ain't nobody got my back.
They don't teach that at the academy.
No, they do not.
I am not afraid, I am not afraid.
They're gonna keep coming.
I am not afraid, I am not afraid.
Let's do it.
Some days I can't get out of my head. That's just the dark side of me.
We might be in a prophecy. We're not in a prophecy. We're in a stolen Toyota Corolla.
So
interesting, but as soon as I saw from the director of Suicide Squad, I was like, nope, out.
Well, so here's the thing, right? This is actually an established world called Shadowrun. Not Bright. Bright is not. It is not Shadowrun, but it's totally Shadowrun.
Mixed with Alienation.
Yeah, mixed with a little bit of Alienation. I just saw an interview with Will Smith where somebody was like, "Can you explain what this is?" And his description was surprisingly accurate. He was like, "Imagine if Training Day got crossed with Lord of the Rings." And I'm like, that's actually a pretty good description of it. But yeah, I mean, it's a world where all the races are real, and magic is this new thing that threatens to destroy everyone. That is exactly like the literal definition of Shadowrun. If you were to go read about the role-playing game, this is exactly it. I still don't know how they're not getting sued for copyright infringement, even if they are not saying the word Shadowrun. But it's amazing.
No.
What's that?
No cyberpunk element.
That we've seen.
And Shadowrun invented fairies and monsters and magic?
No, but mixing them into the real world.
The collection of a whole. You're right. The individual parts are not IP copyrighted, but mixing them into a whole as a unique formula does seem like they'd have a case there. But still, I'm actually super excited for it.
It reminds me of when I was in the theater. I don't even remember what movie I was seeing, but do any of you remember the movie Devil, where everyone was stuck in an elevator?
And everybody was excited until
it said from M. Night Shyamalan, and it was like, oh god, I felt the exact same way until I saw from the director of Suicide Squad. Just like, ah.
You know what's unfortunate? What's the last movie on the list there?
The last movie on the list?
No. But they said directed by, from the
Suicide
guy.
Squad, something, and End of Watch.
End of Watch was actually good.
Is that based on the Stephen King book?
No, it was like a cop movie.
That was a cop book.
Oh, was it? Oh, maybe it was. I don't know.
By the way, we don't have the trailer because it didn't release at Comic-Con or around Comic-Con, but there is a new trailer for Dark Tower that actually takes you through all of Stephen King's works, including The Shawshank Redemption, Carrie, It, and a couple others, showing that the Dark Tower ties them all together. Which I thought was very interesting that they're actually admitting that. They didn't reference any of them by name, but it was pretty interesting. So yeah, nonetheless.
Yeah, I saw the latest trailer of that in the movies, and I don't think that there's a movie I could actually care less about than Dark Tower, which kills me. Because I absolutely love Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey in movies.
All right, I'm going to skip ahead to this one. So this is the movie that no one has heard of, called Brigsby Bear. It stars Kyle Mooney from Saturday Night Live, and is written by one of the other Saturday Night Live writers. And it's super out there, but I think it's going to be really good in all honesty. But we'll take a look.
Just rapidly decaying organic material. Goodbye.
There are other people out there, just like us, right?
Look at the grazer bugs, James. They're out there every night. The difference is we have dreams and imaginations to help us escape. And no one can take that away from you. Ever.
There's something I need to tell you.
Everything's very big. It's really very big.
The reason you're here, the reason I'm here, is all just to help you.
Everyone says they're trying to help me, but nobody can find me the new episode of Brigsby.
There wasn't a new episode this week. This is about moving on with the rest of your life.
Try to imagine a hero.
Just be normal, alright?
Hi, I'm James. I really like your clothes.
He's not on the bad side. He's on the good side.
Yes!
You, Brigsby Bear, our keeper of the light!
Have you ever been with a girl?
You really want to do this with me?
Yeah, man, I mean, there's not a lot of stuff like this out there.
You're my friend.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I was hoping they'd actually explain the story a little bit more, because I've not seen that particular trailer yet. But basically, the guy is kidnapped, and from the age of a young child, and all they give him to watch is this show that's completely made up called Brigsby Bear that the kidnappers make. And so when he finally returns to the real world, finds out that there is no Brigsby Bear, and so he sets out to make it and finish the series. So it's weird, but it's got a lot of big, actually talented people in it, and it's won a lot of awards. So it's definitely flying under the radar, but it's one that I'm actually kind of excited to watch. Anybody else interested or not at all?
I am. I'm just having a coughing fit.
Okay.
Had a real Be Kind Rewind vibe to it.
Yeah.
Which I absolutely love that movie.
So we'll do that one. So this is another teaser that came out. Not a lot here, but kind of interesting.
What is a Jaeger? A Jaeger is the pinnacle of human invention. When the monsters came, we did not wait for heroes to fall from the sky and save us. We saved ourselves. Innovation is our superpower. What is a Jaeger? It's you, times 1,000. Tall as a mountain, with a beating heart that burns as bright as the sun. Enabling us all to become the most heroic version of ourselves.
Join the Jaeger uprising.
I like that it was like propaganda.
Yeah, well, to me, it's like a cross between an Apple commercial and Star Trek Troopers recruitment reel.
Yeah.
So I did like the vibe on that, but there's actually quite a few Easter eggs in there. The ball energy thing, Half-Life's logo is actually hidden a couple places in the thing, and everybody's saying that the Jaeger is actually going to have the gravity gun from Half-Life 2.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Well, in Pacific Rim maybe, but I thought it was an interesting. I thought it was an interesting way to do a teaser trailer.
I really like it. It's like a military recruitment video. Yeah, exactly like you said, military recruitment video with like Apple advertising.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is it a military recruitment film, or have the Jaegers basically become a fighting, actually like a WWE style?
Well, I mean, the thing you got to think about is in the first one, the monsters were on the decline. So between Idris Elba's time and his son, which what's his name is playing,
John Boyega.
John Boyega is playing. I would think that the monster influence has actually increased, but we made such advancements with Pacific Rim at the end of it that, you know, and these are pretty significant advancements. There must have been stronger monsters, etc. So it'll be interesting to see how they explain all that. But I know that my wife will absolutely go nuts because she loved the first Pacific Rim, and I actually liked it too. Other than the whole part where they should have died from the bends. But other than that, it was great.
Because you're making giant fighting robots that you telepathically link to another person to fight with, you know, it's completely believable, but
super realistic.
Yeah, but then people not in those giant mech suits, not pressurized, coming up thousands of feet underwater, and their brains don't explode.
An escape pod still have some sort of pressure regulation capability.
Were they in an escape pod? I don't know. Well, even so, they would have had to come up at such a slow level. Yeah, whatever.
Who cares?
Like telepathic controlled robots.
I care.
Yeah, I'm assuming they had that other piece figured out, since they had, as Matt said, telepathically controlled giant freaking robots.
I love Pacific Rim 1, and it's one of those that gets you fired up no matter what your mood is. But
it's the best dumb movie ever made.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You've had a sword this whole time, you freaking idiot.
All right, so now let's move on to some other good things. Westworld Season 2 preview.
I still haven't seen Season 1.
I'm going to have to go. We're running too long. I'm sorry.
It's 1:14 here.
All right, well, should we just skip? Shall we just do the last big two and then call it a night? We'll do that. So you're talking like just a little bit of time.
Yeah, Westworld didn't really show you much anyway.
No.
Well, and I haven't seen the first season, so I don't really want to watch it.
No problem.
That's fair.
Stranger Things was the only other one we were going to watch, so that's fine.
Of course, the longest trailer in the history of man.
What?
Justice League. It's like a almost 5-minute trailer, isn't it?
I don't think it's that long.
It's long. Okay, 4-minute trailer. Sorry, I added a minute.
Why is it frozen?
this weekend, Diana?
Me?
Huh.
Nothing very interesting.
The world remains in mourning after the death of the Superman.
What we're saying is a crime wave around Lex Luthor, the Arkham Asylum. And where is the Gotham Bat? The mass vigilante has been a no-show.
They said the Age of Heroes would never come again.
It has to. We don't have any more time.
Something is coming.
No protectors here. No lanterns. No Kryptonian. This world will fall. Like all the others.
One misses the days when one's biggest concerns were exploding wind-up penguins.
This is crazy. Honestly, I think we're all gonna die. Each of us, in some way, is held back.
Don't engage alone. We'll do this together.
It's really cool. You guys seem ready to do battle and stuff, but I've never done battle. I've just pushed some people and run away.
Relax, Alfred. I'll take it from here.
Do I know you?
Superman was a beacon to the world. He didn't just save people. He made them see the best parts of themselves.
He did?
Oh, that.
I don't recognize this word.
That's what all of us have
We
said.
don't have to recognize him. We just have to save it.
How many of you are there?
Not enough.
Do you really think that...
Oh, wow, they really just vanish. Huh? Oh. That's rude.
Watch out, Alfred, it's a
You said you'd come. Now let's hope you're not too late.
So is the villain's an Apocalypse person, right? Because that
yeah,
sure
it's,
looks like Apocalypse.
It's not Apocalypse. It's Steppenwolf. Is the
He's not
the
from
villain.
Apocalypse?
He's from Apocalypse. He's not he's not Darkseid.
No,
If
that's what I meant. Like,
Yeah.
because I knew it wasn't Darkseid, but it looked like Apocalypse the planet when it showed like scenes.
Yeah, yeah. It's Steppenwolf, part of the New Gods from Apocalypse. That is correct.
Okay, yeah. The trailer
and-
actually was pretty good,
Yeah.
but Batman vs Superman had good trailers too.
But I'm much more hopeful from the tone of this that Joss Whedon's reshoots, which are still going on now,
The mustache shoots
is really is really transforming the tone of the movie. And I actually really like all the Flash stuff.
Yeah, I was kind of like, because I really like Ezra Miller, but I was kind of like, really, for him as the Flash? But he seems okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I
Well,
really
not
don't
as good
like
as
it.
not as good as
No,
Grant
no.
Gustin, but I
Grant
mean,
Gustin is far superior, but he is not terrible.
Okay. That thing at the end was kind of terrible, but
oh, I thought it was funny.
yeah, I don't know. But the opening sequence, that's got to be all Joss. That was totally like beginning with the kids getting taken hostage and Wonder Woman breaking in, and more Iron Man or Captain America than anything we've seen in movies. So I'm guessing that entire sequence was completely Joss.
Yeah.
I'm still with this many reshoots, it's doomed. Like, that many reshoots is never a good sign for a movie.
I actually choose to believe that they realize that it's all wrong and are reshooting it to fix it. And if anyone can do it, it's Joss Whedon.
That's the hope.
That is the hope.
They will have to kind of prove me wrong for this one.
But that line about Superman being the hope of
yeah. We all had the exact same reaction. Like, not in this universe. Everybody freaking hated Superman. What are you talking about?
The part where the newspaper drops down, it's like world without hope. It's like that was when Superman was alive.
Right, exactly. All right, so we'll end with the one that pretty much won SDCC and has universal praise, and that is Thor Ragnarok.
So much has happened since I last saw you. I lost my hammer, like yesterday, so that's still pretty fresh. And then I went on a journey of self-discovery, where I met you. Where are we? You have no idea. Hela, the goddess of death, has invaded Asgard.
Oh, I've missed this.
And you and I had a fight recently.
Did I win?
No, I won, easily.
Doesn't sound right.
Well, it's true.
Asgard is dead. And it'll be reborn in my image. I thought you'd be glad to see me.
I need to stop her here and now to prevent Ragnarok, the end of everything. So I'm putting together a team. Like the old days.
Surprise! This would be such fun.
Hello.
Hi.
He's a fighter.
Here we go!
I'm not a queen or a monster. I'm the goddess of death. What were you the god of again?
We're the same, you and I. Just a couple of hot-headed fools.
Yeah, same. Hulk like fire, Thor like water.
Well, kind of both like fire.
But Hulk like raging fire, Thor like smoldering fire.
So, is that the same death that Thanos is in love with?
So she will be for the Marvel Universe, yes.
Okay. That's kind of what I was like meant.
The answer is in the comics, no, but that she is going to serve that purpose, yes.
Okay.
For the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well, because how can you not be in love with Kate Blanchett?
Pretty much, and I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with her. Being
As long as she loses her face at some point, we're okay.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Her outfit is dope in that movie.
Dude, what I love most about it is, like, when the original Thor came out, I said, this is Marvel's space opera. And the more they get into it, the more and more every scene they show in that trailer looks like a friggin' Styx cover, which is amazing to me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that is...
It's like the side of the band.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm good with this. I'm totally good with this. I'm totally down with it.
I love the way they're doing this, because it's like the first two Thor movies were like okay, but this one they're just like, F it, let's go nuts.
Yeah, yeah. And
even touches like in the Marvel Studios title where they turn it green. Just basically, this is as much a Hulk movie as it is a Thor movie.
I saw an interesting commentary from Eric Bana that was released today or yesterday. It's very recent, but he basically said that between this, the next two Avengers movies, and one movie after that, there's basically going to be an entire Hulk movie by putting all those
Mark
pieces
Ruffalo?
Yeah, sorry. Wow, did I slip into Eric Bana? Oh, I feel so...
You did. You seriously. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
Jeez. Please don't remind us about that ever again.
This is the early warning symptom of the stroke. I'm just letting you know now. So yeah.
Aye.
So yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of the show, where we would like to thank all of our patrons by name who donated at the $5 and above level. So thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, John. And thank you, Regina. So thank you for donating at the $5 level and above. If you'd like to support our show, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/Gamersledge. And that's going to bring us to final thoughts. Kate, final thoughts.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it was released at San Diego Comic-Con, but I was watching another video and it had an ad in front of it that was a trailer for a movie called Proud Mary. And it's like a new blaxploitation kind of movie. Like, you know, in the same, it's even got like the Foxy Brown kind of font, and it's Taraji P. Henson as like an assassin. It looks awesome.
I will have to find the trailer for that.
Yeah, you'll have to check it out.
Matt, final thoughts?
Secret Empire continues to suck.
Why are you still reading it then?
Oh, it's horrible.
Because that's how you do in comics. You started it, you can't just drop it.
Yeah, I know. Man, it's just yikes. I guess I see where they're going, and you know, they've started talking a lot more about generations and legacy and stuff that's coming to figure out, you know, where things are going. That's the downside of the age we live in. You kind of know everything that's coming way before it happens. But yeah, it's not good. Huge fan of the artist on the series either, so that doesn't help. But even just I don't know what in the world they're thinking when they came up with this stuff. But anyway, yeah, no, it's still bad.
Well, my final thought for today is right underneath our outro video. Well-Rounded Gamer episode 4 dropped yesterday. If you've not checked it out, make sure you check it out. Share it with your friends. We go to the Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco, and it's awesome. And it's my favorite episode we've done yet. We'll have another one next week. We're on a little bit of a altered schedule. I was shooting for 2 a week, but my wife's mom passed away, and so she's off doing that, and I'm the only person who can take care of our dog, so I pretty much am housebound during the week. So I will not be able to do 2 a week for a little while, but once she returns, we'll do that. And if she's watching, I hope she's doing well while she's out of town. And so yeah, check out the Well-Rounded Gamer episode 4 that just dropped, and let me know your thoughts. As always, our patrons get first dibs if they know somewhere that they want us to go. I am thinking about taking my first foray into meatless vegan hamburgers on the show. So that's something I'm kicking around, because they have a new $15 hamburger that's not made of hamburger.
$15?
Yeah, but it's supposed to be like, the reason I'm doing it is because by all accounts, no one can tell it's not actually meat. It's by a chain called Umami Burger, and it's called the Impossible Burger. But yes, it's $15. So it's not like people are going to be rushing out to fill their freezer with it. But I'm interested, so I may try and track that down for an episode. We'll see.
Yeah, I did enjoy this last episode quite a bit. Of course, had something near and dear to my heart there. So yeah.
Which part? Chick-fil-A?
No, not the Chick-fil-A part. The statue in the fountain.
Yeah. I was like, what? I'm with you now. I was like, what are you talking about? I gotta say, I'm making more work for myself. That amount of post-production on that one was a little insane. So I need to kind of step back from that a little bit. But yeah,
scale back. Yeah.
Wow, these are... Oh, that's a bad one, so I'll do it. All right, so we'll end the show as we always do with a pearl of wisdom to tide you over till next week. Hey, Matt. This one's just for you. What's the opposite of Christopher Reeve?
Reeve Christopher?
Christopher Walken. Because he's walking. Until next week, game on.
That would be Chris.
Wow, let's make fun of quadriplegics.
Dead quadriplegic.